of commissioning a United States destroyer called the USS Sample. And we used to tell people that we were the best that the United States had to offer. And today I was also honored in Sun City. We're doing marijuana education. And I was honored to share a sample of the best medication on this planet for the elderly. We've seen results. And with all due respect, sir, your name-calling potheads, it offends me. A lot of name-calling offends me. When we came home, we were all baby killers. All the boys coming home now are heroes. And you know the truth of war. We're both. We're both. And it's a lot to deal with. And I'd like to spend some time with you sometime. And the name you're going to call me right now is Healthy. I've been a patient for 4 years. I've got all my prescription drugs. I've got the doctor's report to prove it. And I'd love for you to join us Monday from noon to 2, Coco's in Sun City. And we'll educate you. I feel sorry for you. You've been deceived.
Okay, now this is the reply from the county attorney.
I said at the beginning that there is a distinction between medicinal applications and the recreational use.
I'm a recreational user.
Well, then you're violating the law. And I have no respect for you. And I have no respect for you as someone who would try to claim that you served this country and took an oath to uphold the Constitution and defend it against all enemies, foreign and domestic, because you're an enemy.
And the people are booing him, as they should. He says, well, if you use it recreationally, I have no respect for you. You're violating the law. He says, I have no respect for someone, and this is the Maricopa County attorney saying this, I have no respect for someone who would try to claim you served this country and took an oath to uphold the Constitution and protect all enemies, foreign and domestic, because you're an enemy. You're an enemy. You're an enemy if you don't go along with the war on drugs that was created by the United Nations. Understand that. 10 years before Richard Nixon, actually 9 years before he declared it in 1970, 9 years before, in 61, the United Nations came up with the 4 schedules that we have now for drugs. It came up with a template, with an agenda. They enacted that and declared war on drugs 10 years later. This is a UN agenda, and it is something that has failed for over 40 years. We need to understand that. But who is the enemy of the Constitution? I would say this county attorney is the enemy of the Constitution, not the other man. The 9th and the 10th and the 18th and the 21st Amendments make it clear that they don't have the right to outlaw this. They haven't done what they need to do. The 9th and the 10th Amendment make it clear that just because we don't specifically mention something like the right to keep and bear arms, which they also don't respect, or free speech, which they also don't respect, just because we don't specifically mention that doesn't mean that those rights are not important, doesn't mean that we don't retain those rights, that the states and the individuals don't retain those rights. That's the 9th and 10th Amendment. Then the 18th Amendment, in respect of that, they said, well, we want to ban alcohol for whatever idiotic reason. We know that drug prohibition did not work, that it made everything far worse because it wasn't the way to handle the problem. And alcoholism is a problem. I understand that. But it's a spiritual problem. It's a psychological problem. It is not a law enforcement problem. That does not work. But the 18th Amendment came in and said, all right, we don't have the authority to ban alcohol, so we're going to amend the Constitution so that we specifically have the power to ban this particular substance. And the 21st Amendment rolled that back. So they have to have constitutional permission to do this, and they don't have that. So the real enemy of the Constitution are the quote-unquote law enforcement and attorneys and the counties who are putting people in jail. They're the real enemies of the Constitution. They're the ones who have really violated their oath. And an attorney should know better. We have talked many times to law enforcement against prohibition. It's attorneys, it is law enforcement official, most of them are former, some of them are active, as well as judges who realize, A, this isn't working, and B, this is destroying our country. But let's talk about the free speech part of it. You know, we should have that held without any laws being made. That should be sacrosanct. And certainly in an institution of higher learning like a university, you would think that they would understand the importance of free speech, the importance of hearing everyone's side of this and having an open debate. I mean, isn't that what higher education is supposed to be about? Isn't it supposed to be about holding up ideas, examining these things, and having a debate about them and letting the best ideas come forth? Not in our modern universities. not in the ones where you're going to come out massively as a slave debt. We're going to talk about that story when we come back. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey, how you doing, Al?
Good, brother.
Just recently started using your products. Everything you said about them's correct. Me and my wife both use a lot of them, and it's made a lot of changes in our lives here.
Well, thank you, brother. It's because it also funds our operation, but doing that, I know I've got to have the highest quality. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals.
We do the super male and the super female vitality. Big changes, a lot of energy. We've gotten off of the cheap energy drinks, energy shots, saving a ton of money there.
Sourced from powerful organic herbs, harvested around the planet, and then concentrated for maximum potency. They want us stunned and dumbed down, and energy drinks and stuff just cover that up for a while, but then burn you out, in my experience, whereas stuff that gets your glands naturally going goes right to the source. So it's pretty exciting, and I love it. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
It's happening again. The feds are trying to ban your freedom to own body armor. In January, a newly introduced bill, H.R. 378, will take away your right to buy Level 3 and higher body armor. Katie Armor offers the most affordable Level 3 body armor packages on the market today. Protect yourself. Buy your body armor now before it's too late. Go to katiearmor.com. That's CATI armor.com. Come and take it.
Gold isn't for you? Ted Anderson, president of Midas Resources, one of the world's premier gold and precious metal investing firms. I get it. You wouldn't buy gold if you believed that the government is doing a great job, that the Fed will stop handing out trillions of dollars like bailout candy, that Social Security would be there for you. That's not what's happening. You might even pass on gold if the stimulus package wouldn't fuel inflation, or that the dollar wouldn't lose value, or that your retirement would be secure. If all looks rosy to you, then now is not the time to buy gold. For the realists, there have never been more sobering reasons to diversify with gold. Since 2001, the U.S. dollar index has tanked 30% while gold has risen 300%. Right now, savvy investors are adding gold to their portfolios. You should too. Find out what they know. Call us and I'll send you 10 reasons why gold will do very well, free. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show on this April 1st, and we actually have a promotion, a no fooling promotion. Through Friday of this week, you'll get free shipping on anything you buy at the InfoWars store. We have, usually we're talking about the health products that we have there at InfoWars Life, but also at InfoWars store, we have items that are going to help you push out into the free speech area. We've got the 1776 and the Moulin Lave shirts. Just as we were talking about in the previous segment, that they're trying to suppress freedom of speech at the universities, this is one way that you can get out there and engage people, even if you're not at a university, especially if you're not at a university, because the universities are going to censor you. They're going to try to anyway. But this is one way that I guess I don't see that they've got dress codes prohibiting this yet. I mean, you can't hand out flyers and talk to people, but you can certainly wear a shirt. You can wear a buckle. It's a great conversation starter. You'll find other people who are kindred spirits, who understand liberty, and you might get into a discussion with some people who maybe think that they know what we're about, but don't really know what we're about. You can kind of help explain to them what's going on here. But certainly it's an opportunity for you to start to engage people in a conversation. Again, you can get free shipping through the end of the week at InfoWarsStore.com. That's our no fooling free shipping special. Now, going back to this story that we just started talking about just before the break, this is up on InfoWars.com from Kit Daniels. University requires students to apply for free speech permits. The content of student handouts must also be reviewed and approved by the school officials. This is at California Polytechnic State University in Pomona. They are now requiring students to engage in free speech activities on campus to apply for permits to be issued between weekdays, between the hours of 8 and 5. So you not only have a free speech permit, you've also got a free speech time window that you can put. Remember when they went out to the Bundy Ranch and they put this little cordoned area out in the middle of nowhere? I mean, it was so far away from anywhere where anybody would ever see you. Of course, that's what they do at the Republican and the Democrat conventions, where they pick their presidential candidates, and they've done that for the last several cycles, setting up free speech areas. Anybody who wants to exercise their constitutional rights to demonstrate in public peacefully, to redress their grievances that they have with the government, those people at the political conventions, they get put into cages that are many, many blocks away from where the convention is being held. If you get out of your cage, your free speech cage, you get arrested, you get beaten, you get tasered or maced or whatever the police feel like they want to do that day. So this is something that is now being promoted in the universities like California Polytechnic State. They say that if you're going to hand out flyers, you not only have to get a free speech permit, but you also need to get approval from school officials over the content so that you can then go to the free speech zone. You know what? At Bundy Ranch, they had this orange fence there, and they had a sign that was printed up very nicely by the BLM, professionally printed up sign, said free speech area, and somebody did a handwritten zone and said the First Amendment isn't an area. And that said it all. Now, of course, at Polytechnic State University in California, they're going to have to check in with the Office of Student Life. They're going to have to allow the school to copy their IDs. See, they're intimidating you. And then you're going to have to wear badges. I don't need no stinking badges to get my free speech out there. And then the Office of Student Life must approve all flyers and posters. They say that last fall, Kit points out officials at Dixie State University from St. George, Utah, refused to allow libertarian students to hand out flyers that were poking fun at U.S. presidents because the campus forbids mocking. So yeah, political correctness, that just trumps everything. So those students are replying with a lawsuit. But you know, if you go to school today at a college, you're going to wind up massively in debt. They want you to have the mindset of a slave as well. That's what that training is about. But you will have the debt of a slave. You will be an indentured servant to the state. You will not be able to get rid of that loan by declaring bankruptcy. You don't get rid of student debts by declaring bankruptcy. Those things hang around. And it's become a massive business for the state, for the banks that issue it. We had an article that was up yesterday from Sovereign Man, points out what every young person should see, that every young person should see the Fed's startling numbers on student debt. Here's 4 key points. They say 40 million Americans are now in debt because of student loans. On average, borrowers have 4 loans with a balance of $29,000. Student loans have the highest delinquency rate of any household credit, and they have the second highest category of personal debt, and they say only 37% of student loan balances are in current with their repayment and not delinquent. It's a massive debt that's being imposed on people. Some majors are great. Sometimes if you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer, an engineer, you need to go to college, but many of these degrees are not going to pay for the loan itself. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We're on the march.